What is up, guys, and welcome back to another video where today we're going to be breaking down 5 of my favorite stocks on the market right now. These are all going to be stocks that I think are buys now. They're all also small cap stocks that are turning profitable. They either have turned profitable or are working towards that. So these companies could end up being some good long-term holds for us in the future. I do have a very regimented screener, and these are the top 5 stocks that came up within that. I'm going to run over all these 5 stocks real quick, and then we're going to break them down piece by piece on a both financial and a chart level. So let's go ahead and jump right into this video where we have Grab, GRR, BigBear.ai, Archer, and LMND. All of these stocks have gotten some good publicity recently and are actually, picking up in momentum. So now is a perfect time to be looking and jumping into these stocks. And I first want to start with Grab. Grab has actually been, the most researched stock on Twitter and FinViz over this past weekend. So I expect tomorrow to be a really, really good day for Grab. I think they were up around 10% in futures over in EU trading. So this is a really bullish sign. Right now, Grab is at 490. And it looks like they've just finished up their second wave. I can go ahead and expand this out. You can see it looks like they just finished their second wave down here, and they're slowly moving up to their third wave. I assume that to really accelerate after this weekend's, everyone being crazy excited about this stock all of a sudden over the weekend. But they have reason to. This stock is slowly turning profitable, and they're looking to report their third quarter in a row of profitability. And that would be a really strong sight for this company that they are growing and things are headed in the right direction. But from here, we can see a third wave move up to around $8.81, which would be a pretty strong, 100% from where we are today. And then from there, I can expect a fourth wave drop back to around $7.12, realigning with this trend line. And then from there, moving up for our fifth wave at around $11.55. Now, a lot of things can change with these small caps. If Grab comes out next quarter and reports an insanely great earnings, a lot of these targets can just get blown out of the water, and we can see, our wave 3 extension in a few days. Maybe we retest, and then maybe that wave 5 is up at that 3618 at 1429, or even higher at that 1598. There is a lot of things that can happen, but I do expect that 1598 target to come, whether that is this year or next year. I honestly expect it to come this year, especially with all the publicity that this stock has been getting, and I expect this to happen very, very fast. You guys can see this prior drop off. Most companies have that when they start out. It's just kind of how it works. But you can kind of really expect that acceleration to come back in, and it looks like we're slowly starting to get some of that. So maybe we can curl up here. There's a lot of things to think about with Grab, but I do think that they are a good long-term hold, and I think this is a great time to buy. But jumping into our next stock here, we're going to have GRRR. You can see GRRR here is currently sitting at 26.59, and I have been talking about GRRR back at $11 or $12, my bad. My dad actually owns around 275 shares and an average price of $13.05. So he's up well over 100% by now. I think like 111%, 112%. But that has been a really solid return. I do expect this to continue. I don't think this thing is anywhere close to done. I expect a third wave move all the way up to 47.69, guys. And a lot of people are sleeping on this stock. This could be a Palantir 2.0 right with BBAI. I think one of the two of these stocks will be, kind of the stock of the future behind Palantir. Maybe not reach that huge valuation that they're at, but something close to it. Both of them are getting good government contracts, and we'll talk about both of them because BBAI is actually next on this list. But we can see GRRR is, slowly turning profitable once again. We're looking to report their third straight quarter of a beat and also profitability. So that is a really strong metric to look at. But I do expect that third wave move up to around 47.69. Then I expect to move down for our fourth wave move at around 34.12. And then from there, we're going to move up to our fifth wave move, either taking us to 69.65, or if we can get a great earnings, something like that, we could extend even higher to around 91.61. So, the valuation would be a little bit different between them and Palantir, as the market cap for this stock is only around $490 million. This is a crazy cheap stock, guys. And with them already turning profitable and their EPS already climbing towards 65, 70 cents when their price is only around $26, this is a really strong sign that this company is growing. And I really do like GRR for the future, especially with those government contracts and the plays that Palantir has seen. But jumping into our next stock here, we are going to have BBAI, which you can see has broken out of this huge downward trend and is continuing higher. As you can see, BBAI has been a hot stock recently. A lot of good publicity here, but this stock I do believe has a future in the market. They are growing financially, and they have a lot of great government contracts, very similar to GRRR, and then Palantir as well. So I can expect to see a 618 extension right here up to around $11.03. And then from there, we could probably, retrace a good bit down to around $7.26. And from there, we can go all the way up to our fifth wave extension, which would be up at that $17.13 range, which would be a great return. We can go ahead and draw out our price ranges for that. Where you can see from where we are today up to there, it would be around a 90% return, and then continuing higher to our extension wave up at 23.22 at the 3618. That would be around 157% return. So there is still a lot left on the table with this stock, and I do think BBAI, like I've said multiple times, could possibly be, a Palantir 2.0 or a mini Palantir, either way you want to put it. But I do think that the stock has a strong future, and I think that their financials are, a good showing and telling of that. But to go ahead and get into our next stock here, we do have Archer, which has a very similar, wedge breakout here, and then a, explosion up. So you can see that we're currently kind of in this flagging formation between the 1618 and the our one here at 859, between that and 1213. You can see this is a really strong and really great position to be. There is one thing I do want to note, and it is that you would want to hypothetically and ideally, flip this into support. So this purple box here outlined in white, you would want to flip this into support to really get you a idea that you can continue higher. But the second that happens, guys, and I do believe it'll happen, I can almost guarantee it. The second that happens, this stock is really going to explode. And I think that next stop is going to be around that 1785 range. And then from there, we move higher to around 2357. And taking our price range from where we are today, you can see that would be a pretty good 73% from where we are today to that 2618. And then moving higher to the 3618, that would be around 128% return, which is a really strong return for this company. And then maybe even seeing that $27 return, maybe coming in, mid to late 2026. But there is a lot left on this table. It is an aerospace company. We all know aerospace is really next up with stuff like Lunar, Rocket Lab, ASTS, which I'm invested in. But I do think that this stock has a good horizon, and I do expect it to move higher very soon. Now, getting into my last stock here, this is actually a really interesting pick. And I wanted to save this for the last because I do kind of want to talk about this because the chart looks absolutely amazing. There's a lot that we're going to break down on this chart. But the one thing I do want to talk about is while their earnings are okay and their revenue is okay, I think this company has room to grow for sure, sitting at only a $2.58 billion market cap. I do think there is definitely room for this company to grow financially, but right now nothing is jumping off the table telling me that they look great. A lot of analysts are kind of holding that median buy to hold ratio, but nonetheless the chart does look really great, so I did want to at least talk about it here. But Lemonade here, this is probably going to be my most bullish stock chart-wise, but the least bullish on financials, which is kind of an interesting outlook here. But there's been plenty of stocks that trade like this, so it's still worth taking a look at, and I still might even throw some shares at this. But you can see right now we are in the second wave, moving up to our third wave here, and we're currently sitting at $36.12. And guys, I want you to see how well we're grabbing this 200-day SMA. This is a really, really strong sign. Bouncing off of this into our third wave, that is probably the most bullish thing you could possibly do right now. And then you're also in the golden zone from that first wave, which is just picture perfect here. Hopefully this next quarter does come out and it's pretty bullish because I do want to see this stock get some, positive momentum because the way this thing is looking is beautiful. And as I do zoom out, you guys can see that we do have some pretty high price targets here. And I do have my third wave moving up to around $93, which is around 200% from where we are today. So that is a really great return just up to our third wave. And then from our third wave, we'll move down to our fourth wave at around $69 once we get up to that $93. And then from our fourth wave to our fifth wave, that is another 330% from an entry today. That would be insane, guys. That's why I wanted to talk about this. Is although the financials aren't there yet, maybe they guide out some great revenue coming in next quarter or maybe next year, and their year-over-year stuff comes out and it's amazing. There's a lot of good stuff that can happen with a growing business like this. But moving up to our final wave here, which could kind of take us into that parabolic type standpoint, it would be up around 459%, guys, up to around $171, pretty much up to all-time highs. And then moving up to all-time highs exactly, that'd be around 517%. And at the 4236, that'd be around 536% for the stock, guys. 536% being left on the table right here is a great time to add. And with the 200 SMA coming into play, along with that golden zone retest and the third wave on the horizon, I think that Lemonade is probably the most bullish stock that I've shared today on the chart side of things. So I do think this could be a great stock to throw in your portfolio, but you would have to watch it and manage it very closely, which really isn't an issue for most of us younger investors that are constantly checking up on our portfolios and moving stuff around. But guys, that is going to be it from me. That was Grab, GRRR, BBAI, Archer, and Lemonade here. So let me know what you guys think down below. Do you guys own any of these stocks, or are you guys going to own any of these stocks after watching today's video? And then also make sure you guys do jump in the Discord link down below. Join up. It's a 100% free, and we have around 500 plus profitable members over there. And that is going to be it for me, guys. I'll see you guys tomorrow.